Today is Thursday, April 3rd, and I am inviting you to Thread with Caution today because we have some really interesting energies present today that can potentially bring a little bit of intensity between you and other people, or even between you and yourself. So, if you want to get some clarity, some guidance in regards to the energy today, Thursday, April 3rd, then you definitely want to stick around for today's video. Cura, 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 corazón. Cura, cura, cura. Hi, I just wanted to take this moment to invite you to come over to my website, www.thebloominglotushealing.com. That's www.thebloominglotushealing.com, and sign up for my email list so that you can stay in touch and find out about activities that I don't announce here on YouTube. And you can also get to know all of the classes that I offer, as well as the one-on-one offerings that I have available there for you. Namaste, beautiful soul. Welcome to the Blooming Lotus Healing Channel. My name is Jikara, and I'm a spiritual healing facilitator. And today we're going to be covering a little bit of astrology. We're going to be talking a little bit about what's happening energetically today. I haven't really covered astrology this week, and I kind of wanted to share what was going on today. It happens to be sort of like a complicated day energetically, especially with the way the moon is squaring with different planets and different signs. And so I kind of wanted to talk about that. And of course, I'm using my lovely book. If you ever, and again, I'm not being paid by this company by any means, but this is what I'm using the Daily Planetary Guide. And so if you ever wanted to follow along with me, this is what I'm using. I'm definitely not gatekeeping here. And I wanted to share a little bit about what's happening today because we are experiencing squares. So they're like when you look at the calendar, it has like all of these um different things that are happening at different times of the day. And today we have so many squares. And if you're not familiar in astrology, what squares are, they're basically they're aspects, right, that are showing up in the chart. And the reason why they're said that they're squares is because in the way that they show in the chart is that it shows in the form of a square, right? And so we have these forces of astrology that are highlighting areas of tension and growth, right? So basically, we are looking at aspects that are bringing opportunity for us to kind of feel that maybe that trigger, that intensity, and see how do we respond, right? And so that's basically what that is about. And so what I'm looking at here is that we have the moon is entering into Cancer today, which that means that we're kind of entering into this very mushy energy, very emotional. So emotions are going to be higher today. You may feel like your emotions are in this crescendo because if you think about it, we are in this crescendo of a moon right now. We're kind of like growing into our emotions, growing into our energy there. And what is energy? Energy in motion, right? And so what we have here is that we have one, two, three, four squares. Okay, we have the square of the moon in Gemini, because we're still in the moon in Gemini. So remember yesterday we talked about the moon being in Gemini. So the moon is in Gemini still today up until this afternoon when it enters into around 3:50 p.m. And I believe this is Eastern time. So don't but around 3:50 p.m. And this is going to be entering, so this afternoon, right, is when you're going to be feeling, but you could potentially be feeling it already. I know for me personally, sometimes I'll be feeling the energies even before they're entering into it. So like even for the full moon, sometimes I'll be feeling that. So we want to take a look at today, because again, we have the moon in Gemini, right? We have this very airy, we may be saying things that we don't want to say, or maybe we will regret later because we're kind of like activated, right? Our throat chakra will be activated, and we might just say things out of an emotional state. So we want to be very mindful of that today. So we have, the square with Saturn, right? We also have the square with Venus, squaring with Mars, and then squaring with Neptune today. Wow. So there's a lot of tension sort of energy there. And then when we look at the signs, we have Pisces in three of the planets. So Saturn, Venus, and Mars are in Pisces. And then, of course, we have Neptune, which that's a slower planet. It travels or traverses each sign a lot slower. So Neptune is going to be in Aries for a good 14 years, right? So that's going to stay there. But think about that. We have a lot of emotions, right? We have a lot of parts of ourselves that are kind of potentially being triggered, and then we have that air medicine that we can potentially say something that we don't mean and we might regret later. So we want to be mindful of that today. So that's the reason why I said thread with caution today. So hopefully, if you get to watch this earlier on the day, you get to be mindful. So we're going to be practicing today a little bit of self-awareness, a little bit of grounding together, just to kind of help you with that. And so we can talk about this stuff all day, but what are we doing, right, to kind of manage this? And that's really what I feel is important for us to do, is to kind of figure out ways for us to manage that energy, right? Because just talking about it doesn't mean anything, but what are we doing with this energy, right? And so I kind of wanted to mention here as well that tomorrow things will get a little better, but today you just want to be very mindful. So if you're feeling a little more, let's say snipey with your words, just know that that's the reason why. So you want to be mindful of the way that you're communicating, the way that you're expressing yourself, and then also paying attention to your triggers, paying attention to your physical body. How is it showing up in your body? How is it showing up in your being, right? So we're going to be doing a little bit of that together right now, and then we will move into doing a collect. So I'm going to do a collective reading today. So it's going to be more of a general reading for everyone, sort of like just to kind of what are the messages, right, that Spirit wants to give us today. So as we open the sacred container, I want to take this moment just to kind of offer some sage for all of us. And so in this way, we can receive that clearing, that energy. So I'm going to offer this sacred sage to you to support you in that journey. Hi, Abirami. Hi, Nicole. High emotions today, definitely. So we want to make sure that we are, and also high emotions combined with, with throat chakra activation. So we want to be very mindful of what we say today. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and light up this beautiful sage to offer the spirit of sage to you here. And then we also have rosemary here alongside the sage, offering this to you so that we can clear the space, clear this energy, also bless the space. And as we call this spirit of sage and offer this to you, I also call upon the ancestors of the land, thanking them for their protection, their support, for allowing us to be here. Thanking also our spirit guides, our spirit team, calling in our higher self, calling in clarity, calling in understanding, support, and calling in Archangel Michael to shield and protect the space. Only those beings that are for the highest good and the highest good of all are invited here. Only what is for the highest good and the highest good of all. Thank you, Spirit. Calling in Archangel Raphael to help us connect with our sense of compassion, to soften our energy, calling in the energy of Kuan Yin, calling her in so that we can open our hearts and be in this beautiful higher state and not allow these energies that are coming through. Let us be in this place of triggers and more in a place of response. So we ask Archangel Michael Archangel Raphael, Archangel Metatron to come forth and support us with connecting with our wisdom, with our connection with our soul, and calling in Kuan Yin, her essence in, so that that soft pink energy light can be infused into our heart so we can operate from a place of compassion and love. So as we open the sacred container, I want to invite you. So we're going to practice this today. And hopefully this is something you're going to take for the day today. Okay, we're going to do this together. I'm here holding your hand. I'm here supporting you. I know that emotions are high, but we want to put arms and legs to these emotions. So the first thing I'm going to do here, I shared yesterday a PDF on the link here on the comment section. I'm gonna send that again to you, and I want to invite you to take a look at this PDF. This is from Calm. This is not mine. Okay, I'm just sharing this as something that I use. Here, I actually use another app, and if you have an app called Emotions, or how we feel on, if you have Apple, you can download that app for free. It's a free app that you can use at any time. It's called How We Feel. You can also use that. I'm not getting paid for this, y'all. I'm not sponsored by these people. I'm just sharing this stuff so that you can use it for yourself and start practicing. This is a practice. It's a practice of connecting with ourselves, a practice of connecting with our emotions. We need to learn how to pinpoint our emotions. The more, it's actually scientifically proven that the more we put arms and legs to what we're feeling and pinpoint where it is, where we are existing in our emotional body, the more aware we are and the less reactive we can be. So I'm sharing this with you, and I'm gonna drill it down on this channel. Why? Because I know it works. It helps me. The more awareness we bring, the easier it becomes. Okay, so I want to invite you to go in. If you don't have the app for the How We Feel, you don't have access to Apple, and you can download this PDF that I shared with you here. It's not mine, but you can share it. It's available for the public, so you can basically look at it. And when you open it, you're gonna see that in the middle there is a very, like, sort of like an umbrella, right? Like a big umbrella of an emotion, right? Like a lot of times we say bad, we say angry, we say sad or happy, surprised, disgusted, and so fearful. All of these are going to be there, and there's going to be a color applied to that. And then from there you can look outward, right? You go into the middle and you go outward, and you can see how you can get more granular with it. The more granular we get, the easier it becomes for us to understand what it is that we're feeling and where it could potentially be coming from, right? So if we understand our emotional body, the better we can understand our triggers, the better we can understand ourselves, the more love and compassion we can bring to ourselves. And guess what? The more compassion you bring to yourself, the easier it'll be for us to extend that to others. That's just how it is. This is how we do it. This is literally the work right here. This is how we do it. Okay. And so I want to invite you to take a moment to look at that and figure out where in the middle one you are, and then find the one that feels more aligned for you. Meaning, find the big one, the big umbrella one, which is going to be in the middle, and then you're going to find the one, or few, maybe you can have more than one emotion at the same time, and that's okay. That's normal. Then go ahead and find that, and then from there, allow yourself to just accept that. Maybe even feel into that into your body and how that feels. Once you realize where you are, then I'm going to invite you to take this moment to get comfortable on your seat. We're going to sort of like do like a really just a grounding meditation, sort of like what we did yesterday, okay, together. So I want to invite you to take this moment to either close your eyes. If you can close your eyes, if you're driving or doing something, then you can just soften your gaze and just listen to what I'm saying. Okay. And I just want to invite you to take this moment to place your hands, if you can, palms facing down towards your lap or your armchair, wherever it is. If you can, take off your shoes, even better, so you can feel the ground on the floor. If you can. If you can't, that's okay. Just try to feel into your feet. Okay. So I want to invite you to take this moment to either close your eyes or soften your gaze. And we're not going to change anything. We're just going to observe where we are existing at this moment with the knowledge that we have brought into our awareness of where we are existing. Where is our emotion? Where is it that we are existing right now? With this knowledge and this understanding, now we're going to go into our body to find out if there's any aspect of that emotion that is living in our body through the form of a sensation. So we're going to translate that emotion into our body at this moment. So without changing anything, without pushing anything away, I just want to invite you to scan your body, feeling into that emotion and allowing yourself to feel that emotion in your body. And whatever what that sensation is, it could be subtle or it could be a more intense sensation. Just pay attention to it. You're not going to move it away. We're not going to do anything with it. We just want to sit with that emotion. We want to sit with that sensation. We want to acknowledge that aspect of ourselves, that part of ourselves that needs to be seen, needs to be heard, needs to be acknowledged. We're just going to take a moment to honor that part of ourselves, whether it is a positive or a negative emotion. It's okay for us to give it space. And that's what you're doing. You're creating sacred space right now for that emotion. So from the top of your head, start scanning all the way down to the bottom of your feet. And just notice any sensation that is triggered in your body when you are feeling that emotion or even thinking about that emotion. Maybe you can have a memory that's attached to that emotion, to how you feel, or maybe the various emotions that you feel. And if you have different sensations in your body, it could be tension, it could be openness, depending on the emotion. It could be even pain or pressure somewhere in the body, maybe even some tingling sensation. Whatever sensation it is, you're going to pay attention to that and just acknowledge it. There's so many times that we just don't acknowledge these aspects of ourselves. We just ignore them and go about our day. So right now we're just creating sacred space, a sacred ceremony between ourselves and our emotion. Honoring ourselves is so important. Honoring our emotions is so important. These are just parts of us that want to be seen, want to be heard. And even if you're feeling a surge of emotion right now, maybe you're feeling like you need to release at this moment, and that's okay. Allow this sacred space to release. You're safe. You're safe to emote. Sometimes we just need that moment to emote, to express what we're feeling. Just continue to, even if you're feeling the need to emote, continue to notice the sensations in your body. Just notice how that emotion is showing up, maybe how it's moving throughout your body. Maybe the surge of emotions or different emotions are moving through different aspects or different places in your body. Just notice, just observe. And we're going to take this moment just to give ourselves grace and love and compassion. And we're going to do this together with the form of connecting with our breath and our third eye. You're going to do this with your imagination, or even if you don't see, just setting the intention as we call in the soft, compassionate energy of Kuan Yin. We call that energy in, that soft, compassionate, loving, nurturing energy. Bringing in that energy, and we're going to allow it to be in front of us in the form of an orb. And the color is soft pink, a very soft pink light. And with every breath you take, you're going to allow yourself to bring in that beautiful, soft pink light into your nostrils and allow it to travel throughout your body. Just giving yourself permission to be in this beautiful space of acceptance and receptivity, accepting the support and the love, accepting this beautiful energy and allowing it to embrace those aspects of yourself that feel that need to be seen and supported. We're not going to sweep them away. We're just going to allow this energy to hug it, to embrace it, to be seen and acknowledged. With every breath you take, you allow yourself to relax your body, unclenching your jaw, relaxing your shoulders, relaxing your eyes. Just relax. Bringing awareness to that beautiful pink light, you allow it to travel throughout your body and hug you from the inside. If you feel that more emotions might come through, we want to accept them, allow. We want to allow to release in whichever shape or form that release comes through. That release can come through your breath. It can come through tears. It can come through thoughts that are passing by and releasing. Just notice and allow this beautiful, soft pink light to travel throughout your body, just being present with you. I want to invite you to take this moment to just ask yourself, how can I be seen? How can I be seen? What do I need to feel seen? And just let that answer come through. What do I need to be seen? And just give yourself permission to allow that soft pink light continue to travel and be present with you. We're now going to ground all of our essence, this understanding of who we are, wherever we are existing now. We're going to allow this to be present and grounded with Mother Earth. So I want to invite you to take your essence for who you are now. We're not trying to be anything but ourselves at this moment. We want to accept ourselves where we are. And Mother Earth receives us with so much love, so much compassion, nourishment. You're going to shift your awareness down towards the bottom of your feet, feeling your connection with Mother Earth, feeling her holding you through the gravity. She holds you regardless of where you are existing emotionally. She holds you every single day, silently, loyally. She's there for you. Be with her at this moment and allow yourself to be grounded to her as you allow her beautiful light from the center of the earth emanate upward towards the bottom of your feet. You allow yourself to exchange your essence exactly how it is, alongside with hers. And she alchemizes. She receives you and alchemizes what doesn't serve and gives back to you nourishment and support, grounding, protection, acceptance. How does it feel to be accepted and seen? loved for who you are without having to change anything about you. You're perfect exactly as you are right now. Your essence is beautiful exactly as it is. And you're exactly where you need to be now. And with this understanding, allow yourself to expand that soft pink light into your auric field, allowing that beautiful energy to expand into your room, wherever you are now, cleansing any aspects of your energy field that don't serve you, asking Archangel Raphael to support with mending any openings in your auric field, closing any portals, clearing any entities with the help of Archangel Michael. Clear, remove, and send to a perfect place. Connecting and reconnecting to our higher selves and our soul, to our true essence. You come from love. You are love in the form of a human. Feel into that love. You being alive is love. You're love breathing. Truly. Allow yourself to feel into that beautiful essence and that softness. Clearing any aspects of yourself that keep you from being connected with your soul. Asking spirit and asking your higher self to come forth and support you at the highest level of consciousness available for you so that you can operate today from that higher level of consciousness. You can rise above any astrological beliefs, any astrological concepts or energies, rising above all of that and operating from that beautiful, loving place in full acceptance of where you are now, knowing that you're perfect exactly where you are. I would invite you to take a deep breath in through your nose and release your mouth all the way out. Take another deep breath in through your nose, cleansing breath, and release all the way out. You have been reset and ready to embrace your day with loving embrace, the higher perspective, the higher awareness. Bringing yourself back into your space, moving your fingers and toes. And when you're ready, you may open your eyes, feeling ready to engage. All right. Welcome back, beautiful souls, beautiful people. Beautiful, beautiful. So grateful to be here with y'all. Let me know in the comments, how did this feel for you? If you are on Facebook, I may not be able to see your comments. I'll see them later. Feel free to add your comments there. That's a beautiful thing. If you want to share how your emotion and where you are in the wheel, feel free to do so in the comments. Not necessary, but if you want to, you can do so. We're going to go ahead and take this moment to do a reading for the collective, okay? So I'm going to be connecting. I'm feeling that the archangels want to talk today. So I'm going to pull my archangel chart here to speak to the archangels. And then we're going to go ahead and pull some cards as well from tarot and my Spirit of Psilocybin deck so that we can get some messages for today, okay? So as you know, we did mention, right, that we have the squares happening today. a lot of squares with the moon, and the moon is entering into the beautiful sign of Cancer. So if you're feeling a little bit more emotional today, this is the reason why. Hence the reason why I shared on the on here that PDF. And if you have that the ability to download the app How We Feel on your iPhone, feel free to do so. I think that will be very, very helpful for you. It's been very helpful for me. I've been loving it. I'm trying to be as consistent as I am with it, as I can with it. But just because I was consistent for so many months, I feel like I'm able to really pinpoint my emotional body a lot faster. So I want to invite you to really think about doing this on an ongoing basis. If you do this every day, you'll be able to really do some really beautiful work for yourself. Okay, so let's go ahead and ask Archangel. Archangel, which archangel wants to come forth today to share a message for the collective in regards to all of these squares with the moon and the energy available today? What messages, what archangel wants to come in with messages today? We got Archangel Zadkiel. Okay, so let's see what does Archangel Zadkiel? Okay, Archangel Zadkiel first of all wants to share with us the color of deep violet. So I'm gonna ask Spirit to send to the higher self of all the souls that are watching this, whether it is now on the replay, to send that energy of the deep violet so that it can be received. All you have to do is ask for that deep violet to be received, and you will receive that to support you today. And I see here that Archangel Zadkiel wants to apply some energy healing. So we're going to go ahead and add that Archangelic healing to your higher self. So if you want Archangel Zadkiel to support you in releasing any burdens that you may have been feeling, especially when it comes down to burdens from others that have been given to you from others, or even ancestral burdens, asking Archangel Zadkiel to apply that healing to the higher self of the souls that are here, whether it is now on the replay. Thank you. All you have to do is ask. Okay, Spirit. The so Archangel Zadkiel wants Spirit to help you activate in your mission and anchor yourself in your divine soul mission. So, have you thought about what your divine soul mission is, and have you received any messages in regards to this? And if you haven't, you may be that this is an invitation for you to call in Archangel Zadkiel to help you with connecting with your purpose and your soul's mission. We are all here for a reason. We're all here for a specific purpose. And sometimes we get lost in everyday life. And so, right now, Archangel Zadkiel wants you to know that this is a time for you to start asking these questions. You are needed, dear soul. Some of you may be at this time feeling activated in ways that feel kind of strange, or maybe you are having strange dreams, or maybe you're also understanding certain aspects of yourself that you didn't before. You're starting to understand the world in different ways. You're starting to see the world from a higher perspective, something that you didn't do before, dear soul. And the reason why you're doing this is because you are being activated into understanding your soul's purpose, into understanding what's happening and what is your role, what is the role that you play here and now. Okay, is there anything else here? No. So I'm going to ask Archangel Zadkiel to send any activations to higher self of the souls. And if these souls decide that they want to receive them, let them receive these. And so it is. Thank you. Which other archangel wants to come forth? Okay, so Archangel Zadkiel was the only archangel that wanted to come forth today. So hopefully this will help you, dear soul. So we're going to go ahead and pull out some cards, messages from tarot, as well as the spirit of psilocybin. What are the messages today for the collective, dear spirit, in regards to what's happening today energetically? How can we support, and what are the messages that are going to support the collective in regards to all of these squares, moon squares that the moon is experiencing with all of these different planets? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so I'm going to start first with the initial conversation that we're having here. Let me just organize my cards here. Okay, so I have here the Ace of Wands upside down. I have here the Queen of Pentacles upside down. I have here the Eight of Wands right side up. So we have a lot of fire energy there. Actually, we have three elements present right now that are definitely at play. But specifically the one, actually all of them are equally represented here. So we're gonna start first with the first three cards. So with the Ace of Wands, there could potentially be aspects of yourself that where you're feeling sort of like not able to do things in a way that feels effective, right? Like you may feel like things are not going in an effective way today. Maybe projects or maybe even delays that you might be experiencing, maybe like even being on the phone for too long and then maybe getting upset about that, or maybe something happening where you have to call customer service and you have to deal with having to just voice your dissatisfaction in a certain situation. So I want to invite you to really just calm. We have the Ace of Wands, which is fire energy. So calming your emotional body to understand that, okay, this is happening, this is part of the experience. Remember, we're still on Mercury retrograde, so there's also that. So just where this is just part of the experience, right? We're just gonna ride the wave. Okay. You're also going to be either you're going to be either dealing with someone who is sort of like intolerant, or not, like someone who doesn't have like this understanding of how they affect others, right? You may find yourself in a situation where you may encounter sort of like people who are self-absorbed, right? Like a lot of that energy of like, just like I'm not even like connecting with the world, right? And when this is presented to you, this is going to potentially trigger you, potentially make you feel like you're really like you really have to hold your horses from like actually exploding or having like a very emotional moment. And so you're being guided to really feel, understand that that's what's going to be presented to you, and that's the lesson, right? Like that's the lesson behind all of it, right? Like how are you going to choose to react, or actually not react, but actually how are you going to choose to respond to this person, right? And so the other is, for some of you, you're also going to potentially have um a moment where you may have to make a decision a little faster than what you wanted to, or you may have sudden changes. You may think, people might change their mind in a certain thing or situation that you agreed upon before, and then now you're kind of like left in this like place of just feeling a little annoyed or even confused of where you stand in the situation. You're also going to be you're probably going to see that certain people are going to try to, because they want to try to progress or try to push things into in their way, that they may put you aside, and that may hurt, that may make you feel a certain way, right? And so just keep in mind that if that's happening again, this is a lesson. It's not, how are you choosing to respond to this, dear soul? That's the biggest thing that you want to pay attention to. Now we have the Six of Pentacles, we have the Four of Swords, and we have the Page of Swords. Okay, so here we have, and so for those of you who are a fire sign, okay, I feel like you're going to be you're going to be tested, right, into how are you going to hold yourself from being reactive, and how are you going to instead move into a place of how do I say this, move into a place of um response, right? Like conscious response. For that's what I'm seeing here. For those of you who are of the fire, not sorry, not fire, but earth sign. Okay, we have you're gonna be dealing with people who are gonna, again, like I was mentioning, just really just not someone who's very empathetic. right? You may be presented with people today that are just not empathetic, not really giving, self-absorbed, just they don't care about how they present themselves in the world. They only care about themselves, right? And so that's going to be your trigger, because you have this sense of empathy that you want to experience and receive in the world. And then when that's not being given to you, then there's going to be sort of like, how are you going to respond to that, dear soul? Okay. The other aspect here, that you want to pay attention to if you're of an earth sign, is that we have the power dynamics, right? They're going to be presented to you in regards to this person, right? Almost like wanting to um, take advantage of you, or look for ways to get away with certain things, or so that being presented with maybe sort of like a lack of balance in the relationship, right? And so with that said, you want to be mindful, right, in regards to how you respond to them, in the sense of how you are asserting your boundaries. So a really great thing you can do as an earth sign is to connect with the earth medicine. Like, earth is all about boundaries, connecting to your boundaries, connecting to your where you exist in the map, right? And then you get to assert yourself. But how do you do this, right? Do you do this from an emotional state, or do you do this from a place of knowing your worth? That's the difference between one and the other. For those of you who are of air sign, okay, I am seeing here that you are going to be in a place of, I feel like there's going to be a little bit of gossip, a little bit of like over talking, a little bit of like just saying things that you're not supposed to say, or maybe like sharing something that you weren't supposed to share. Maybe it wasn't told to you that you weren't supposed to share. So just be mindful of how you're speaking, how you're communicating, how are you um relating to others. Try to relate to others from other places, versus oversharing. Okay. We're also here being invited to tell you that you are probably going to be feeling a little more energetic. Maybe you're going to be feeling like even restless, or almost like if you have like neurodivergence, that could be potentially heightened for you today. So just being mindful of that. The energy of the moon is sort of like, because it's in so many because we have the moon squaring in Gemini, like the moon is in Gemini, and it's squaring with all these other planets. Like, you're gonna feel sort of like these activations at the air sign level, or your throat side, and also at the mind. So your mind might be overactive during this time, dear air sign. So um, just keep in mind that you want to be very careful in the way that you communicate today. Okay. For those of you who are of water sign, you are going to be, of course, activated today, because we have the moon in Cancer coming through. So if you're a Cancer, you're probably going to feel that energy and all of the squares that's going to be. And so what I'm seeing here, dear Cancer, is that your energy is going to be activated from a place of just saying things that you didn't really mean, because you are feeling emotionally overwhelmed. Okay. That's for you, dear Cancers. But in general, for those of you who are of water signs, you can potentially have these activations of just saying things out of an emotional state, right? There's a difference between you, for example, the water signs and the air signs. Air signs are going to be activated, but it's going to be more of like oversharing, for those like oversharing things that they're not supposed to share. But for Cancers, or for those who are water signs, it's going to be more of like saying things that you didn't really wanted to say, or you wouldn't say in a state of emotional awareness, right? So you want to be mindful of how you operate today. You may have a little extra conflict, and then just just by saying, like, just be mindful of what you're saying, because I almost feel like just by saying the things you're going to say in this state is going to just make it even more complicated, and you're going to have to track back and say I'm sorry and all this stuff, and then go into mending. Like, instead of going that direction, why not catch it right when it's why right before it happens? That's the reason why I'm sharing this. But for some of you, you may feel a little bit more depending on where your planets are. You may be feeling like that Cancer energy is activated for you a lot more. That's the reason why I'm sharing this for y'all. But specifically for those who are of Cancer, if you have Cancer in any parts of your chart, just be mindful. Especially look at where Cancer falls in your chart, and just like look at that and say like, okay, I need to be mindful of this today. And then also, in general, just being aware of your emotional body, which we just did a practice today, right? If you didn't watch from the beginning, make sure that you go back and listen to the practice that we did of connecting to your emotional body. And then at that point also being able to just clear that energy, because you could potentially have things that are pent up that are not even related to the issue, and it's just sort of like the issue is just a cherry on top. So why not clear your energy, right? We talked about energetic hygiene earlier this week as well on Monday. If you Oh my gosh, yes, go listen to the energetic hygiene clearing, y'all, that I did on Monday. Just go do it. Just go do it. Just do it. Even if you're working, just listen to it. You don't have to close your eyes. Just listen to it, and that's it. Because I feel that you will benefit so much from this. There's a reason why Spirit told me to do that. Divinely guided, but anyway, so that's for the water sign. So again, going back to water signs, I know I got kind of sidetracked. Dear water sign, just stay honest, right? Stay Definitely do say, definitely do share your truth. Be mindful of where the energy charge is behind, right? If you're going to say your truth, say it in a way that is neutral and not charged with this emotion behind it, right? Make sure that the emotion is neutral, that you're in a neutral space, and then express. Okay. If you do that, then you'll be able to be very objective about things, and you may be able to move certain things forward. And like in general, like I mentioned earlier, in general, for a lot of us, regardless of our sign, we may deal with certain like delays or issues, maybe even having to call customer service because we need to something is delayed. Just in general, that could potentially happen overall for all of us, as well as dealing with maybe even people that are not responding to they're not responding or receptive to our emotions, and then that also creates more emotions, like negative emotions. And so like being mindful of that in general, and then also understanding that things might change very quickly today. So just be thread with caution. I said this for a reason, y'all. This is the reason why I put this um on the title today, because it's just like, listen, I am someone who's also very, like, I do definitely do deal with like we all deal with our emotions, and I have had to learn how to just be mindful of my emotions very often. And so I understand it can be difficult sometimes, especially when we're in the midst of it. So just know that this is happening. This is the energy that's happening, so we can rise above it, y'all. It doesn't have to define our life. It doesn't have to define our experience, right? It doesn't have to be a definite thing. So that's the message. So if you can take anything from today, just take that. Just because I'm talking about this doesn't mean that we're doomed into that, right? Like, it's a warning, it's an understanding, and then we get to make the decision to move above, right? Like, rise above it. So that is what I have for everyone today. I hope that you enjoyed the reading today. And yeah, so that is what I intended. And I know today was a little shorter session. I'm trying to keep them within an hour, just so that I don't get exhausted. Let me see, what's the message from Spirit of Psilocybin? I forgot. Before I go, what's the Spirit of Psilocybin wants to share with us today? Oop. Okay. Well, that one is important. Haha. Shadow medicine. There you go. That's how we're closing. Lean into your triggers with curiosity today, dear soul. Lean into your triggers with curiosity, dear soul. If you are triggered, ask yourself, why do I feel this? So anyway, love you all. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow. I'll have to find out tomorrow morning what this is about. I'm kind of like going with the flow and with the stream of consciousness, whatever is available for the day. So we'll see what tomorrow brings. Maybe it's a clearing, maybe it's a reading, maybe what is it? Maybe we're going to learn together. We don't know. We'll find out together tomorrow. So I love you all. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Nicole. Good luck to you, dear Nicole. And I will see you all tomorrow. Love you.